Avi Meyers, segment 2, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. There is an election coming up. Not the November election, that's pretty boring actually, and that is coming up. But there's also city elections coming up in February for aldermanic and for mayor, and any runoffs will occur in April. And it's a little earlier than we usually start, but you know what? We're happy to do it. Tom Stapka, who I'm happy to deal with a lot. You know, we met originally on Facebook. We worked together on a number of different projects over the years. I actually even met him once. So that was it. That was over Tom Serapin's Bash Thanksgiving. It was good meeting you, Tom. He asked me to get the next person on the show. He does a lot of campaign managing. He's also in the printing business. He does a lot of judicial things. And he is the campaign manager of a candidate for alderman in the 45th Ward. And I actually had read about you before this even happened, because I do try to keep up with stuff over there. Michelle Baert.
Yes.
Is that pronounced right?
It's Baert, exactly.
Okay.
And thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm Polish and Irish, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, first of all, let's tell people where the 45th Ward is.
Well, thank you first for being here, and it's an honor to meet you. I appreciate the
my
opportunity to come
pleasure.
on today. 45th Ward is actually the northwest side and encompasses a little bit of Irving Park, Jefferson Park, Gladstone Park, and a little bit of Norwood Park. So your boundaries are kind of, they're Addison to the south.
Addison to the south.
Addison to the south. North is Peterson, which is just shy of Devon.
Right.
On your eastern border, it is Elston and Cicero, and the western border is kind of a dodecahedron of many streets. You know, there's a grid system here in Chicago, but our ward system is not.
It's called gerrymandering.
Yeah.
And Chicago's good at it. So, 45th Ward right now is represented by John Arena, brand new alderman. He's with the anti-Iran people some of the time, other times he's not. He had a lot of union money. John Garrido last time lost to him by 30-something votes, or was it? Okay, and he's saying he's going to run again, so now we got a third person in the race. So what do you bring to the table? Why is it that, what is it that, you know, do you have a political background? I mean, what makes you want to run for alderman?
Well, I don't have a political background, but
I
actually have a lot of community involvement, and that to me is what really is important. I have been involved with our area. We've lived there for over 13 years. With our family, I'm married with 3 children. And
how old?
4, 7, and 9, 3 boys.
Okay.
So never a dull moment. And I've been involved with not only charity, a children's charity called Variety, the Children's Charity, for over 20 years.
What's it called?
Variety, the Children's Charity.
Oh, okay.
I've been on their board and still heavily involved with them for a number of years. And so I'm also involved with the local school council. I'm a parent representative on the board for my children's school, and also on the PTO. And then
Parent-teacher organization?
Correct.
Oh, they don't call it PTA anymore.
There's differences.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're different organizations.
Interesting.
Yes, that's a whole nother story. We can, another show.
Okay.
And then a year ago, actually, I'm going to be having the 1-year anniversary of a website that I launched called 45th Ward Mom. And that was part of it, my belief that community is very important. Where you grew up, you know your neighbors and everything, and sometimes you don't know what's going on in your own backyard. And I felt that was important, especially in the area that we were at. We have a lot of families, working families in our ward, and it's a consolidated calendar of all the events going on, or as many events as I can find out about, because I'm researching all the time. And what's nice is now I have organizations coming to me to put their events up on the calendar. So there's a website called 45thwardmom.com, and then there's a Facebook component as well.
And what was the reason you started that website?
Because I think it's important for a community to get out and know your neighbors. And so,
Gotcha. I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, is it popular? I mean, did it surprise you how popular it became?
It actually is. I am very, pleasantly surprised that we just hit over 3,000 likes, and
nice. On
which
Facebook?
is on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm very humbled by all of the great support that has come from many of the people in the area. And so when I'm out, I actually try to attend as many events as I can. And just last night I was at an event and somebody came up to me and they go, "Are you the 45th Ward mom?" So I've kind of gotten, a
Cool.
little, mantra that way of being known. So.
Okay, that's still running for alderman. I mean, that's a big job. You've got an incumbent. You've got somebody who's well represented from the past. That's going to be one battle, one huge battle.
Well, I agree, but I think it's a worthwhile battle because I feel that the families of the ward are not being represented in the decisions that he's making. I don't think he's taking them into consideration in regards to the issues that are going on, and it should be about the basics. When it comes to aldermen, it is economic development, it is public safety, it is city services, and education. And those things I don't feel that are being addressed as they should be here in our ward.
Yeah, I'm not well, you know what? We'll get him on the air at some point. But the one thing I have with him in common is I used to be in the typesetting business. But politically, it's like he's, I haven't figured him out yet at all. But I haven't really paid that much attention to city council. Now, in terms of what are some of the things, what are some of the things that, besides for just involving people, do you have specific programs or do you have areas in the ward that need particular kinds of help or things that need to be built up? Or
well, we really have economic development. If you've been down Milwaukee Avenue, anytime in the recent...
A little bit.
Very blighted. A lot of vacant storefronts, and it's been that way for a long time. And that is something that you have many working families that have, take care of us every single day, firemen, policemen, city workers. And when they come home, they should be able to take their families and go, to family-friendly businesses right there. And unfortunately, we don't have that. So that's one of the things that I would definitely have at the top of my list is to get that, those vacancies filled and work with the local chambers and things like that to get that taken care of.
How many different Chamber of Commerces are there in the area?
There are, let me see if I do a quick count. There's at least 3 or 4 because,
wow.
And because of how the ward runs, some of them
most
touch.
neighborhoods aren't, like occasionally a ward in a neighborhood will be the same, but that's rare. So yeah, you'll have pieces of different neighborhoods. Is there a particular good business strip in the area, or are they all run down? Or is Milwaukee
you're talking about Six Corners. So if you're familiar with that area,
very familiar, yeah.
Yeah, so that has had a lot of challenges and has been a lot of vacancies. And as you go north along Milwaukee, it continues. And so as you go up into Gladstone Park, there are a number of businesses there, mainly medical businesses of many kinds. So, but there's many that are vacant along that area.
Not good.
Not good is right.
Yeah, no, it's been years already in certain places. Matter of fact, I had the guy who ran the chamber in that area, like near Six Corners. I think he's in Australia now. I forget his name.
Oh.
But Don. Well, I won't worry about it. So how do you go about? So you're running for alderman. How do you go about running for alderman?
It's a ground game. It is getting out and meeting as many people as I can, and so that's one of the reasons I've started so early. As we talked about the area of the ward, it covers a lot of area, and so I'm getting out and walking already and meeting as many people as I can because I think that that's important in regards to asking somebody to support you, to get out and meet them and hear what they have to say.
Are you knocking on doors? Are you meeting people on the street? Or
all of the above? In every event I can be at, I'm meeting people, whether it's spaghetti dinners or Boy Scout functions, things in the park, library, chamber events. I'm as out at as many as I can get to.
Wow. Do you spend like for instance, Dan Katowski would spend 4 hours a day at times when he's not in Springfield, knocking on doors, which I think he's a little bit crazy, but he's also a pretty good guy. It's like there is a set amount of, like, do you try like 2 hours, we're going to just knock on doors? Or?
It's starting that. It's right now it's about a 2 hour, daily 2 hours, but it's going to build up, and the plan is to get out there, as many times as I can, trying to get to 3 times to get out and hit, people. that many times.
How much are you learning from people?
How much am I learning?
Yeah.
I'm learning a ton, actually. I mean, in regards to what their real passion is about, and not seeing things followed through, and that they're just really frustrated with what is going on in politics in general. So, looking for, as you said, you asked me about my political background, and that I do not have one. It seems to be more of a plus.
That is a plus, definitely.
And what I'm concerned about is the families. I'm looking for, looking out for the next generation, my children, and every other child that's out there, and the families that are there. It's basing decisions and putting families first is what I believe in.
Well, that would be nice, and as a matter of fact, it would be nice if, that got no complaints with that. So in terms of events, where do you're going word of mouth from people now? I mean, do you have enough of a network built up that you get to hear just about everything from people now, or?
Hearing quite a bit. I mean, and being out, talking to people, I mean, that definitely gives me more insight, to what is going on. I've been very fortunate that as I started my website and gathering all the information that was going on, I was researching it all, but now people are coming to me saying, can you put this up? Can you put this up? Because they're seeing that there is a great following, and, what my belief is, again, get to know your neighbors, know what's going on in your own backyard.
No, that's understandable. In the thing itself, do you blog or?
I do. There's every day. I do 4 to 6 posts. So it's a very active site.
4 to 6 posts a day.
4 to 6. Mm-hmm.
About how many words each? Sure.
Mainly it's about activities and things that are coming up and events and reminding people what's going on.
I mean, do you do like a lengthy thing? Do you do a blurb? Or I mean, I did look at your site, but that's 3 months ago, and it actually had nothing to do with this. I
was going to say, how did you find me?
Well, first of all, I look at neighborhood newspapers like crazy.
Okay.
And there's a political columnist who has no idea. If he ever decides that if he picks you for an election, be scared. He's never right. But there's a weekly political columnist in one of the papers who had something about a different 45th Ward candidate, which, as it turns out, is you.
Okay.
And I can't think of his name. But it's in one of the neighborhood newspapers, and I saw the presence of another candidate, and I was surprised because I figured this was going to go. I knew Garrido was going to probably go after it again. Mm-hmm. I know Arena's not going to just give up the job, without a fight. And all of a sudden, there's somebody being talked about in a rather strong manner. We have, like, for instance, some of the candidates we have here who want to run for alderman. I don't think I'd let them throw my garbage out back. But it seems to me like you've got some pretty substantial. You're a substantial person, and you got a real run here. Mm-hmm. So if you're attracting that kind of activity and you got a year to go, you could win an awful lot of friends. And it's not like the city's running in any kind of really good shape. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I was joking with somebody earlier about the latest plastic bag ban that I would really like to see the intolerant one, Alderman Joe Marino and Rahm Emanuel, both have a fight with plastic bags. And for me, it's a reason to actually go shopping in Evanston here. Mm-hmm. I've got a choice between a Jewel in Chicago and a Jewel in Evanston, and I don't have a car. The plastic bags are easier. If it rains, that paper bag can get soaked through. It can break. Oh. It's not easy to carry. I'm not saying that, and not to mention, you take a look at the environment.
Hopefully for small businesses, they won't, adhere to them. They'll make a little exemption for them because, small businesses
they
really...
have exemptions, but, the Jewels and the Targets and things like that, you're not going to find the exemption for. And this city seems to me is really good at getting people to go to other places to conduct their business, whether it's a lower property tax or not lower property tax, lower tax. You know what? I'm talking too much, and we're starting to run out of time. If people would like to contact you,
they can find me on the website. I have 2 different websites. One is the 45thwardmom.com. So I invite you to please check it out, either on Facebook or on the website. I also have my election campaign, which is Michelle2015.com, and I invite you also to come there. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me via email. and I look forward to hearing from you.
I want to thank Rudy for bringing you here. I want to thank Tom Stapka, your campaign manager, who I always enjoy dealing with. And
I
want
heard
to,
you're quite a White Sox fan, actually.
What?
A White Sox fan?
No.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
Oh, for crying out loud, then he totally set me up.
Well, he wouldn't know. I mean, I don't
Okay.
usually talk about. First of all, okay.
Uh-oh.
You started. We got to talk.
Uh-oh, sorry.
I'm not a big baseball fan. Period. I'll wait 2 or 3 years for the Cubs. I used to like the White Sox. They traded Louis Aparicio. I will never forgive
Okay.
them. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Sonny. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.